You're going to love this guy. Amazing, talented comedian. I've seen him all over the state of Colorado. He's just hilarious and musical and creative. Please welcome to the stage, French Accent.
How are we doing tonight, Lakewood? All right. My name is French Accent, and I'm going to tell a bunch of ridiculous puns and terrible one-liners. For example, do you know what Toyota is backwards? A toy yacht. Do you know what Subaru is backwards? You're a bus. Do you know what Rosie O'Donnell is backwards? Rush Limbaugh. I had a girlfriend named Ruth, but then she broke up with me, so now I am ruthless. But it's all right, as it says in the Bible, you reap what you sow. She hooked up with a guy named Doug, he broke up with her, now she's Douglas. That joke is pointless. When I've got my hair short and my beard long, the ladies are like, ooh, he's a lion. But when I've got my hair long and my beard short, they're like, oh, he's a tiger. But when I shave my head and my beard, they're like, oh, he's a potato. I had a friend named Bill. Bill was a Native American and Bill was an alcoholic. Not because he was Native American, you racist. He was alcoholic because he had Parkinson's disease. We called him William Shakespeare. That's funny on like 3 levels. Wow, Lakewood, clapping for Parkinson's. I dig it. You're a humanitarian crowd. That's beautiful. Now this is the worst pun I've ever written, but I'm going to tell it anyway because I love it. If you have a stereo sound system possessed with an evil spirit that uses the power of sonic vibration to manipulate an old school typewriter across the room and force that old school typewriter to draft legal documents, is that stereotyping? Nope, just a long stretch for a really bad pun. I told that joke to a friend of mine. He said, oh, French Accent, that joke is so cliche. I said, can you put quotation marks around the word cliche? Doesn't that negate the clichéiness? It's so cliche, it's no longer cliche, it's cliche squared. He said, all right, funny man, what's cliche cubed? I said, William Shatner in a Shakespeare play. He said, touche, thank you, sir. That would be a great play, wouldn't it? To be or not to be. I'm not going to do William Shakespeare. William Shatner Spear? I don't know where I'm going with that. I got off the rails. I think Christian what is it? How does that go? All right. Do you know what Christian Protestants call the Catholic Catechism? Pulp Fiction. Tried to do the Pulp Fiction theme song, didn't work. I told you that joke so I can tell you this one. When the Pope comes to the United States, you know what his favorite fast food chicken restaurant in the South is? It's Popeye's Chicken, because it's spelled P-O-P-E-Y-E-S. The Pope says yes. Consequently, if the Pope takes a poop, holy crap, all right. Wow, clapping for Pope poops and Parkinson's. I love it. You're alliterative, Lakewood. If a small duck is called a duckling, and the small goose is called a gosling, when a midget takes a dump, is that a dumpling? Now you know where dumplings come from. I bet you had no idea. Consequently, a game of duck, duck, goose with only one midget, that's unfair. That is unfair. Told that joke at a midget convention, they threw fresh dumplings at me. I think a midget's large intestine should be called a semicolon. You like my puns? I love you right now. I'm such a happy panda. This is great. All right, let's try this one. If a midget gave birth to another midget, that would be a really small midget. That would be like a midget. That would be a midget squared. That's a math joke, ladies. Would you like to hear another math joke? Good, because I'm doing it anyway. You know what the square root of pi is? Rhubarb. Okay, it's a root that's kind of... Moving on. I'm not good at math. I love abstract math, though, because in abstract math, a -5 multiplied by a -5 is a +10. Well, I'm equals ladies, I'm a positive 10. Best part about that joke, -5 times -5 is positive 25, but you all laughed anyway. Means you're as bad at math as I am. I'm bad at math. When I was in high school, I was in geometry, and I was always confused. I thought the triangle was the only shape that was also a fruit, and it grew on the trigonometry. I thought algebra was a mermaid's brassiere. And calculus was a waste of time. Look at me now. All right. So I'm from Wyoming, obviously. First time I came to Colorado, someone said to me, Wyoming? You know what the letters in Wyoming stand for, don't you? I said, what? He said, Wyoming, where you overdo methamphetamine in nightly gatherings. I said, oh yeah? Well, you know what Colorado stands for? He said, what? I said, Colorado. Crazy old liberals? Orado. Thank you very much. I did a show in Wyoming recently. After the show, this big bearded biker who had not cut my performance came up to me and he said, well, what do you do for a living? I said, I am a professional comedian. He said, oh yeah, funny man? How's about you make me laugh? Come on, hilarity boy. Commence to the chuckles. Make me laugh, hilarity goon. Make me laugh. Make me chuckle, chortle, and spit. Make me laugh. Make me laugh. Make me laugh. So I tickled him. That is how I lost this eye. You're wondering about the eye patch? Fine joke. The other day I saw someone spreading baba ganoush on a pizza. I did not know baba ganoush is like the Indian equivalent of hummus. I thought baba ganoush was like the Indian equivalent of Santa Claus. If you are very good, baba ganoush will bring you good karma. But if you are bad, you will be reincarnated in Wyoming. I was on a mission trip to South America recently. I was walking through the village and everyone was staring at me. I didn't know what to do. I nudged the tour guide. I said, what's going on here? He said, Senor, they've never seen a white person before. I said, are you serious? It's 2015. Now I know what it feels like to be black in Wyoming. Funnier to me. All right, funnier to me than you, obviously. I will take that. I know God exists. I know God exists. Here's one of the reasons I know God exists. When I was in college, I had a roommate who was just a real jerk, and he was so bad I didn't know what to do about it. So I went to the Catholic parish, and I looked up Father Two Drink McGuzzle. I said, Father Two Drink McGuzzle, my roommate's a real jerk. What do I do about it? He said, well, son, what you've got to do is kill him with kindness. And right then, I knew God existed, because how else could that drunken old sod, Father Two Drink McGuzzle, have known I named my shotgun kindness? All right. What if homeless people were just time travelers who failed? Like epic monuments on the failed blog of history. And every wily cockamamie story some scallywag of a homeless person has ever told you is 100% true. Yeah, man, I got shipwrecked off a land steamer in 2385, fell off the port bow into a time vortex and killed Kennedy when it landed in Texas and my gun went off. Can I get $1 so I can get back to the time warp? You give that hobo $1, you see him stumbling out of a liquor store 10 minutes later. Hey, I thought I gave you that $1 so you could get back to the time warp. Well, only an idiot time travels when he's sober. And that's how you know he's on the level. Because only an authentic time traveler would know that information. All right. They don't like that joke in Boulder either, but there it's because they're so politically correct. They're so politically correct in Boulder, even the homeless people are politically correct. I ran into this homeless guy. He was like, please, I prefer the term dwelling impaired. I said, you can't be politically correct. You're a hobo. He said, I'm a locomotive enthusiast. I said, you're a bum. He said, I'm an indigent who cleverly sequesters resources. I said, all right, funny man, what's a vagrant? He said, well, a vagrant's a vagrant. I said, what? No cutesy PC term? Nah, those guys are jerks. All right. I think the game chess is racist. White always goes first. All right. That's where you laugh when I stop playing the accordion. That's why I have this thing, all right? I'm saving you trouble. I was playing chess with an Indian dude. that's where it was invented. And the guy he was just explaining to me how it works. He was like, yes, you see, you have the pawn here, and the pawn goes forward, and that is like your military forces, you know. And then you've got your bishop, and they're like your ideological bases, you know. They are telling people what to believe here and there and everywhere. And then you are going to have your horse, and they're like your special force. The horse is the special force, of course. You see what I did there? It goes round and round the board, you know. And then you have your castle, and the castle is the best, you know, because that is the population base from which all of your country's resources come from. And here you have the queen, and you are in check, my friend. And I looked at the board, and I looked at him, and I looked at the board, and I looked at him, and I swept all the pieces off the board. And he said, what in the world was that? And I said, nuclear war. That's why America always wins. It's crazy what's going on these days, though. Everybody is saying these things which don't make any sense. You've probably heard somebody say to you recently, you don't know if you're going to like it unless you try it. Which is complete malarkey. I mean, I've never pooped in the shower, but I'm pretty sure I would not like it. All right, Lakewood, I'm kidding, all right? I'm kidding. I've totally pooped in the shower. And I did not like it. Sometimes a comedian will tell a joke that's so strange, goofy, and weird it could not possibly be true, but it totally is. And the reason I did that just now is because as a Christian, I don't believe in lying, and I also believe everything we've ever done in our lives at the end of days will be put on display for all to see, whether public or private. And I just think it would be really funny if when everyone was watching my life, they're like, holy cow, he wasn't kidding. He really did poop in the shower. And he did not like it. You ladies don't know how to deal with this, do you? They're like, we paid $15 for poop gags? This is horrible. All right, now you're laughing. All right, I can move on. Here's a stupid one. Do you think ghosts drink microbrews or booze? Yes, booze is right. She answered with laughter involuntarily. If I ever have twin boys, I'm going to name them both Lee. Then I will have simultaneous Lee. If one is smarter than the other, he'll be quickly. His brother shall be slowly. And if I have a daughter, Lisa? I was going to say Shirley, but I thought Shirley, guys might get the wrong idea, I knew this girl who was pro-choice. I was going to name that baby momentarily. But I talked her out of it because abortion's murder, and now the child's name is permanently. And he's a little butterball, too. He keeps eating. I'm going to change his name to all-encompassingly. And this joke has gone on over-lengthily. Do you know what you call a mystery assassination movie shot by a group of white hip-hop artists in Paris, France? What? A French vanilla killer thriller. All right, we like that. I hate it when I'm driving alone and I see a Volkswagen Beetle, because then I have to slug bug myself. All right, I've got a new song for you guys tonight. Would you like to hear my new song? All right, here we go. This is my new song. It's called Ellipsis. It goes like this. All right, that was Ellipsis. Did you like that? That was a cheap joke. So I'm a substitute teacher. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the reason you should homeschool your kids. I was substitute teaching kindergarten recently, and there was this little 5-year-old boy. He was the cutest little guy. I mean, it was sad because he obviously had a cognitive learning disability, but he was just so cute. He put the aw in autism. I've always thought the word autism is a funny word. It sounds to me like a made-up word, like those penguins from Madagascar stumbled into a children's clinic. The leader's just like, that child is behaving odd. We should come up with a word to describe that behavior if we find it again. Private? Autism? Brilliant, Private. It's short and to the point. But, sir, won't people realize we've just taken the word odd and tacked on the word tism? No, we'll spell it A-U-T. They'll think it's a German thing. All right, that was a new one. That's 40 seconds of your lives you will never get back. It is gone for good. In my ideal universe, when pop singer Adele got married, her father whispered in the groom's ear, dude, you're getting Adele. You're welcome. All right. Glad you like that. I've always thought the term snark is a funny word. It sounds like someone mashed together the word shark and the word narc. I imagine a great white goody two-shoes swimming about the ocean, admonishing young schools of sharks against the dangers of blowfish. Remember kids, don't do blowfish and anemone amphetamines. Not even once. I don't know why that was Don Knotts. That was... I do impersonations too that aren't Yoda related. I can do a really good Ray Romano. Would you like to hear it? All right, here's what it... No, you don't? Too bad. Here's what I do. I do Kermit the Frog doing his impression of Christopher Walken. Oh, everybody loves me. Ooh. That was an impression within an impression. That impression was Inception. All right. If I'm ever rich enough, I want to buy a bobcat, punch him in the throat, and name him Goldthwait. Then whenever I have my rich friends over, I can say, yes, here is my chateau, and this is my bobcat, Goldthwait. And the bobcat will be like, because I punched him in the throat. And my rich friend will be like, your animal cruelty brings me mirth. That was a weird... All right, I got this guy. This guy's my favorite right now. He's getting an A. You guys are getting like an A-. He's got an A+, and he's coming for extra credit, but it's not actually studying. He's getting cookies, all right? You are not... You can get a cookie. Just follow his example, all right? If you want that cookie. I read your Bibles. Read your Bibles. The Bibles talk about at the end of days there will be a figure called the Antichrist, who is this charismatic, likable, lovable guy, but he's not really Jesus. People mistake him for Jesus. Now, there are some who think this man who will be injured in the eye and be so charismatic and lovable will be a very charismatic politician. Some think that he's going to be the next pope. I say it's Jackie Chan. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. His initials are JC. Is there anybody in the world more lovable than Jackie Chan? Plus, he can't die. Watch a Jackie Chan movie, the bloopers, that son of a gun's made of rubber. So you got two choices. They're either going to Jurassic Park JFK, or Jackie Chan will be knocked into a coma during the middle of his next film shoot and wake up as the Beast. There is no middle ground. I call that joke Jackie Chantichrist. That's another minute you're never going to get back. I think the song Hold On Loosely and Don't Let It Go does not apply to the Hershey Squirts. If you don't cling tightly, you will lose control. More poop jokes, ladies. Earmuffs, earmuffs. This is a clean show, substantively. You know what they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, okay, shame on you again. I'm obviously retarded, all right? Fool me 4 times, have you got nothing better to do with yourself? Fool me 5 or more times, all is forgiven. You're obviously any ex-girlfriend I've ever had. Here's a good way to pick up girls. You drive up to her in your car and you run over her dog. That's how she knows you are in control. Hashtag single. All right. That's Twitter reference. Get on it, grandmas. That's, I don't know. I'm not actually on Twitter. I think they're all twits. Moving on. I just rapid fire them at you. I don't even think before I speak. It's a problem sometimes because I forget where my next joke is going to be. Oh, where was I going to go from there? It is a real... Oh, yes. I'm not allowed within 100 feet of any conical. I have to tell you that. Here's what happened. I was on the road. I really had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. There was a sign on the door. It said, out of order, use ladies. So I peed on the first girl that walked into the store. I'm not allowed within 100 feet of any conical. I love how people's hands go into their face. That's beautiful. That's beautiful to me. I decided to play fantasy football for the first time this year. I thought it would be a great idea to draft the Balrog as my star quarterback. But then I ran into a team that had drafted Gandalf the Grey as theirs, and all of a sudden my Balrog could not pass. All right. You are cultured. I like you, Lakewood. This is good. Anybody else find it ironic that the movie The Never-Ending Story is only like 90 minutes? Meanwhile, The Lord of the Rings, which is the same plot, is like 18 freaking hours? I will tell you what is wrong with the world today. In modernity, the propaganda is just too good. At any given time, any given place, any given teenage girl will be listening to any given top 40 radio station. And at some point, this song will come on the radio. 'Cause you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. No, you would not, Vanessa Carlton! You're telling me you would walk the distance Samwise Gamgee and Frodo Baggins traversed to drop the Ring of Power into the fiery inferno of Mount Doom just to catch one glimpse of some nappy-headed teenage boy living in his mother's basement listening to Green Day and painting his fingernails black? I call shenanigans! But you know, every single one of those little girls who hears that song is going to believe it! And she's gonna pull her boyfriend aside and she's gonna be like, listen, Carl, listen. You know, I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you. And you don't even want to watch the Princess Diaries with me? And that's why America is taking a dump. Sorry, grandmas, I didn't mean to. That's why, though. I'm kidding, aunties. So that's why. What's going on right now is the media is hoodwinking already retarded teenagers with obviously improbable and propaganda such that when the real world intrudes, they get disillusioned and depressed. I was actually talking to a girl the other day. She said this to me. She said, you know, I believe everything in the Bible and I support gay marriage. I was like, what? That's like saying your favorite character in The Lord of the Rings is Dumbledore. Yeah, sure, maybe you meant Gandalf the Grey, but you're wrong either way. She's like, well, Dumbledore and Gandalf the Grey were both gay, so you're wrong either way. I said, no. Dumbledore was fictionally gay, all right, but Gandalf the Grey was never gay. It was the actor who played Gandalf the Grey that was gay. She said, well, all actors are gay anyway. I said, touche. Everything's so complicated these days, I didn't know how to deal with it. There's a way to test if you're a bigot. I've devised the test. Here's how it works. Say, hypothetically, that your very favorite actor is, we've done a lot of Christopher Walken, right? Now, say Christopher Walken gets up front in front of the national conversation, and he says to America, listen, I gotta come out of the closet. I love Jesus Christ. I love Jesus. 6,000 year. Makes sense. Evolution. I don't need the monkey business. Gay rights, abortion. My father had a watch. And when he was in Vietnam, this watch was up his buttocks cavity. And he took it out and cleaned it off and gave it to me. And that's what Jesus can do to your life, America. Now, if you heard that and you quit liking Christopher Walken, that makes you a bigot because you can't dislike someone based on what they believe. It's how good their art is that you've got to look at, because if you get right deep down to it, every single man, woman, and child in the world has something they have done which is despicable. And if it were found out, would make it reasonable to hate that individual. But we can't do that or we'd have to kill ourselves. No, you've got to love people anyway. For example, Tiger Woods. Great golfer, horrible husband. George Lucas, valuable visionary, dimwit director. All right? Bruce Jenner, astonishing athlete, a terrible tranny. Bill Cosby, clever, clean comedian, quick with the quaaludes. Donald Trump. That's... Thank you very much. How are you doing, sweetheart, in the back there? How old are you, like 10 years old? 7. Well, you're going to learn some new things tonight. Hey, don't blame me, Mama. You paid the ticket, all right? I'm doing PG, but now she's enjoying the show. Now, before she's like, Mommy, when can we go? This accordion clown's stupid. I do what I can. No, she wasn't really like that. She's a real sweetheart. I want to do an actual song for you now. This is a song from the perspective of a guy telling his girlfriend why it is guys have to be the head of the relationship. Guy telling his girl why it is guys have to be the head of the relationship. Here we go. You don't always know what you want. You don't always know what you want. I said you don't always know what you want. But if you try sometimes, you'll find you should listen to me. There's a lot fewer guys laughing than want to laugh. I don't blame you, fellas. Hashtag single. All right. If you're living on the lam and you want a can of ham, you could buy a can of spam, but it's a sham. Lamb, ham, spam, sham. That is how you speak Chinese. In China in the 1920s, the Chinese communists wore red scarves for identification purposes. The Chinese government said, "To heck with you, communists. Anybody with a red scarf, it's execution time." The Chinese communists said, "Oh, government, we will simply remove all of the red scarves," which is a simple, excellent plan of attack, except for one fatal flaw. You see, that year it was exceptionally moist in China, and all of those scarves were made in China. Every Chinese communist's neck was stained a cherry red that would not wash out. The moral of this story is, if you were a communist in 1920s China, you might be a redneck. All right, he liked it. He liked it. Approved. That joke is approved. You are a redneck? I'm from Wyoming. We're together. All right. That's beautiful. I read somewhere that in Islam, for some reason, they really hate dogs. Muslims hate dogs. I don't know. In Iran, in 2011, the Iranian government issued a decree which declared all dogs to be un-Islamic and dirty. How much must it suck to be a young boy in Iran right now? Father, why can't I have a puppy? Dogs are un-Islamic and dirty. Father, what is wine? Forbidden. Father, why when we go out in public, does mother dress like Darth Vader in drag? Who in the world is Darth Vader? And what is he dragging? Wait a minute. You're saying I cannot have a puppy? I cannot have wine? The only women I will ever know look like photo negatives of the hey. And you've never seen Star Wars? I feel like I'm going to explode. Someday you will, my son. Someday you will. If you don't laugh at that joke, you're a terrorist. That's a patriot. The Frenchman told a patriot joke. All right. I'm banned from Starbucks too, as it turns out. Here's why. They had the unisex restroom. That means for men or women. And I walked in, there was a sign on the toilet. It said, "Delicate plumbing, flush toilet paper only." So I pooped in the sink. I am not allowed within 100 yards of any Starbucks. And that's hard because they're everywhere. You liked it, those two. Now you two are the ones who are just giving me the wow, nothing. All right, I'm not going to look at you because I will die. That's. She's like, I could care less. All righty, I think cross-dressing is a drag. All right. You ever wonder if illiterate people see the cow on the billboard for Chick-fil-A, walk inside and order a hamburger? And then when the teenage kid behind the counter is like, "We don't serve beef," he's just like, "Well, this is gay," and walks out. That joke is offensive to either side of the debate. That joke goes both ways. Ladies and gentlemen, that joke is bitextual. All right. I was at my sister's house. She's got a 3-year-old, and I poured myself some Fruit Loops. Can anybody guess what came out of the box with the Fruit Loops? One time that happened. No, the midgets, no. Here's what actually came out of the box with the Fruit Loops. Marshmallows! They're putting marshmallows into the Fruit Loop. The Fruit Loops aren't enough. They gotta put the marshmallows in. And on the side of the box it says, "Fortified with vitamin D." Oh, really? How'd that commercial go? "Hey kids, I'm Toucan Sam and I'll follow my nose to wherever it goes. To new Fruit Loops with marshmallows. Fortified with vitamin D for diabetes. Kellogg's, we're trying to kill you." Or how about this one? "Kellogg's, we're actually funded by Big Tobacco." In Bogota, Colombia, they were actually able to raise a population of something like 200 panda bears. And the reason you didn't hear about it on the news is because right before their press release, a couple of Colombian drug cartels got into a turf kerfuffle right in front of the zoo. And nobody knows quite how it happened, but somehow over 250 kilograms of 100% pure Colombian-grade cocaine were spilled directly into the panda's water supply, and it was complete pandemonium. The zookeepers were bamboozled. Nothing on that one. That's okay. That one's not that funny. That one's not that funny. In Nazi Germany, the Nazis thought that Hitler was the Nazi Messiah. But then Hitler committed suicide, so I guess that means he was Nazi Messiah. You groan, but there's no reason to it. You know how you get to Nazi Germany? Start down Lutheran Avenue, suddenly take a sharp socialist left, and then you're Third Reich. All right, stamp of approval, very good. I think that bloody uprising from the poor against the rich as a solution to class warfare is a rather evil solution. Nay, it is an evolution. All right, 7-year-old, here's a rhyme you can repeat in class that'll end the lesson in controversy. It's a rhyme I wrote. It goes like this. The plural of thesis is theses, which sounds just exactly like feces, and aptly describes all the hoaxes and lies in the book Origin of Species. Ooh, I just crapped on evolution. What up now, Lakewood? Ooh, I don't believe it. I think it's stupid. Repeat that in school, guaranteed school shutdown. They'll take me to jail as a terrorist for telling you that. I don't know. Have some fun. Americans, though, we have this horrible habit of thinking we invented something because we do it. Like we break dance, so we think we're the only ones who do that. We've got the worm. They've got the worm in China. They just call it something different. In America, we call this the worm. In China, they call this the lo mein noodle. I think the hardest martial art to learn has got to be jiu-jitsu, because you got to learn Hebrew first. Now for a song about sheep. Once in old New Zealand, I played accordion. The locals did not like it, but the sheep would sing along. Ba, ba, ba. In New Zealand, I'm the sheep Pied Piper. Oh yeah, ba, ba, ba. I nearly got shot by a local sniper. Oh no, ba, ba. But the sheep sang a song threw off his aim, and that saved me. The song the sheep sang went ba, 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 ba. That was the black sheep. Oh, you laughed at that one, did ya? I see how you are. I see how you are. We got any Star Wars fans in the audience tonight? All right, I'm not the only virgin. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but I hate Star Wars Episode 1. It's got nothing to do with Jar Jar Binks and everything to do with that scene right before the historic pod race when Qui-Gon Jinn crouches down in front of Anakin Skywalker and gives him the key advice to being a Jedi. The key advice to being a Jedi. He says, "Remember, Anakin, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think." Feel, don't think? Am I the only one who is incensed that the key to being a Jedi is to act like a woman? Ladies, 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 don't get mad at me. I just called every woman in this room a Jedi by default. And guys, you know it's true, just tick her off. She will Jedi mind trick you. The other day I met a man by the name of Juan Solo. I thought, here's a guy whose Millennium Falcon is also a lowrider. My lowrider crushed that little TIE fighter. Who am I kidding? His Millennium Falcon wouldn't be a lowrider, it would be an El Camino. And his Chewbacca would be El Chupacabra. You ever wonder if Darth Vader feels as though scuba divers are making fun of him?
That's not funny. I fell in a lava pit on Mustafar. Stop it, please. I will choke you.
That last one was also new. All right. If you don't laugh, it was new. All right. I was in the park on a sunny day in full costume practicing my lightsaber moves. And it was going great until a couple of mean old rednecks drove by in a pickup truck and they rolled down the window and they said, "Hey, looks like you got lost on your way to Tatooine, nerd." I said, "Well, actually, I am practicing my choreography for the new Star Wars movie. I've got the bit part when the rebels invade Imperial occupied Tanakh. I get killed, but like, it's a scene with Mark Hamill and he's a real stickler about the choreography because of the ballet, you know. So I want to get it right." They were like, "Whoa, you're in the new Star Wars movie?" I said, "No, nerds." And I went back to my lightsaber moves. All right. You ever have to take a dump so bad you start quoting Star Wars? You're just driving down the road, all of a sudden, "I sense a great disturbance in the Force." Couple of miles later, you're just like, "Almost there, stay on target. Almost there, stay on target." You know you're in trouble when you start hearing Princess Leia, "They're coming through." Finally, you get to the gas station, explode through the front doors of the convenience store, knocking people over left and right, higgledy-piggledy like Chewbacca on the methamphetamine binge. Just... Finally, you get to the restroom. And then no womp rats fall out your beggar's canyon. And you realize the whole time it was merely a phantom menace. We had a good time tonight so far. Very good, very good. I'm going to do 2 more bits for you, then get out of here. Before I do, I wanted to tell you I am selling CDs. After the show, I sell them for literally anything because I make them myself. $1 gets you a CD, $5 gets you a CD, $10 you get a CD, $20 you got a CD, $100 I will pass out. You can have all of the CDs. I also have a novel out called The Thief and the Sacrifice, which you can find on Amazon.com. It's a pre-flood novel. It'll blow your brain out the back of your head. All right, this is my final song, then I'm going to preview a new character and make like a baby and head out. Here we go. Is Bon Jovi's mother Mom Bon Jovi? If Bon Jovi went to prison and were released, would we heretofore refer to him as ex-con Bon Jovi? Say Bon Jovi impregnates a woman. Spawn Bon Jovi? If Bon Jovi were in a Star Trek, would he be Bon Jovi? If Bon Jovi were in a Star Wars, would he be Han Bon Jovi? Leia was a princess with buns. Her planet blew up, she got thrown in jail. It's tough. So tough. Luke lives on Tatooine all day. He cleans drugs and stuff, and his uncle is gruff, but it's okay. Okay. Because don't you know you gotta hold on to what you've got. It don't make no difference you're a Wookiee or not. I'm Han Bon Jovi, and that's a lot of love. Darth Vader's a snot. Whoa, I don't know the rest. Whoa, thank you very much. All right, did you like that? All right. I want to try a new character real quick, and then I'm going to head out. Would you like to see the new character? Yeah. All right, very good. I like this guy. You are still my favorite, sir. All right, here we go. Here's the new character. All right. Hello, I am Russian accent. You see the hair in my hat? In Russia we are starving. This is the cat in the hat. Ha 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 ha. Now I'd like to do segment for you I call Mother Russia Goose. 3 little kittens, they lose their mittens, and that's how they die in Siberia. Ha 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 ha. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe, 'cause when it come to housing, that's how Russia do. Ha 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 ha. Little Jack Horner sit in a corner eating his pudding and pie. But that is a joke, 'cause Jack Horner is broke and hallucinating till he die. Ha 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 ha. My name is French accent, aka Russian accent, aka Kevin Bennett. God bless you all for coming out. You enjoying yourselves?